Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of the Kiln Restaking Rendez-Vous. Today, we have the honor of receiving Misha, co-founder at Symbiotic, to talk about the restaking protocol that they are building. Misha, how are you doing today?
Good. I feel excited. Yeah.
Yeah. Could you start by introducing yourself, give us a bit your background, how you started to work into crypto and public blockchains?
My name is Misha. I've started like a long time ago, but not professionally. I was really excited about this like internet money concept. Because back then it was really hard to like actually do like some I don't know, pay for stuff internationally, because you needed to go like you needed to create PayPal account or something. It was not that obvious, and like the cards were like uh, a lot of the time the cards were not accepted. So yeah, I just felt like it might like solve a lot of problems. And after that, like once we realized like how to actually use smart contracts on Ethereum, that was really nice as well, because like initially it started with like you give like the smart contract $1, it gives you soda back, like one Coca-Cola bottle, and like people are like, well, we can do that at home. Like, what's the actual purpose of that? Why overcomplicate things? And after that, we had like an ICO boom, and it was like really exciting because like that was the novel instrument for people to fund their projects. And after that, like I was always mostly interested in infrastructure. So like scaling mechanisms, security, like UX element of it, for a deeper infrastructure. Um, some time ago, we architected with August, my current co-founder, architected and developed liquid staking solutions for Polkadot. That was the first time we touched on like shared security part of things. Before like after the merge mining, but like the merge mining was not actually shared. Like so yeah. We try to like figure after that we try to like figure out if this can be actually done properly, if for this to deliver like a lot of value, because like the general security part is really hard, because you're like going against the like laws of physics and human nature in a lot of ways, because people actually don't like we actually don't want redundancy, mostly because it's inefficient, it's expensive, and it's really hard to manage. And people generally don't want to spend money where they can like cut corners. Like so protocols usually like try to launch as fast as possible with as little functionality as possible. So they usually start centralized. And we were like thinking for a long time, how do we try to like mitigate that? So that, and it wasn't easy, so it took us like a few years. After Polkadot, it was like 4 or 5 years maybe, after we started working on Polkadot. And after that, like I think like a year and a half ago, we found basically like the value set, and like actual characteristic of a protocol that are needed to be in place for this to actually have a chance of working. And once we got that, we were like, yeah, that's that we can do that probably.
Cool. Yeah, so you touched it a bit already on the, I guess, like the origin story of Symbiotic, but I would love if you could, I guess, first like give us like a brief history lesson on shared security, because with restaking is a very like recent concept, but actually like it's about shared security, and shared security is something that has its roots. Its roots go way back. Could you explain a bit like what is shared security and what is its origin story, like all the way back to merge mining to where we are today?
Yeah, well, like we had a lot of ideas as an industry about how we can like the problem that we were trying to solve is the problem of like how do we like why would we need to launch a separate network with a separate like the security assumptions, a separate like I don't know, validator set, everything else. Each time we need some new functionality. Because like back in the day, you launched your own chain. Like if you had like a new idea and like you have a minor tweak to things like block size or something else, or like I don't know, the concept of like a new consensus mechanism, like you in mind that will solve like a small problem, you launch your own chain. It's gonna compete. It's gonna die. Like most of those would never make it. And like the idea behind Ethereum from a start was not to like to fix that. So Ethereum might be like one of the first successful shared security protocols. Because they actually like use our security. We already have like proof of work that's gonna secure you. If you want to add some logic to the things that are happening, like just use smart contracts. Don't have to have like your own chain for like some mechanisms that you want to play with. And then there were like there was Polkadot that was like trying to do the same stuff but like optimized. So we have like a really stupid but really secure and like relay chain that can't do any like that's not like Turing complete. That is not like designed to operate like smart contracts, but it's designed to make everything stable. So you might be using that for as a source of truth. And after that, we had rollups that are doing like, well, supposed to do the same thing, that you don't have to launch your own network. You can use your own proven mechanisms. You can optimize, but like you don't need to like to create your own like infrastructure for everything else, because it would be the same as like some people joke in restaurants that are like growing the chicken first and then like that's why it takes so long. And it's the same for DeFi, like for a lot of blockchain networks. Like you don't have to do everything. There is like a misconception that you might like that it benefits you in some way. But again, yeah, you can do your own, like you can tailor your own suit. It might do something good, but like just the ROI on that was really low in my view. So the last iteration of like shared security was done through restaking, where there is a concept of like reusing the same economic security multiple times with the like the other interesting use cases coming along like right now, that you can use the same token to align every system. And like basically that's where we are right now. We know of a way for networks to launch faster, safer, and quicker, and like and safer. Yeah, and more optimized. And now like we are at delivery point.
Yeah,
Actually starting delivering value for networks and their users.
got it. And so, if you had to like tie back the origin story of Symbiotic into this history of shared security, when was the realization for you that there was something more to be built in this ecosystem?
Yeah, there was gradual like increase of probability of this being helpful. We saw the modular thesis of Ethereum, like you have like your own data availability, you can reuse that, you can have like your own Oracle network that is deployed uniquely to your like chain, you can have interop that's going to be operated by like your ecosystem partners and everything like that. And the more we saw that like competing ideas don't try to like kill Ethereum each time, and they actually like understand that like them being value add to the current ecosystem might be like more beneficial than they're like going alone with every idea that they have. The more I saw this like different ecosystem trying to align perfectly and trying to like creates a value delivery mechanisms that are complicated and like have multiple alignment structures in the industry. We've decided that this is the spot where this can actually work, because it was like gradual and it's still not like 100% that's gonna stay the same. Ethereum might like go into go Solana route, where it's like a lot of things are monolithic or like in protocol. But yeah, it looks like the modularity won, just because like it's way more optimal.
Yeah. And if you look back at this history, you obviously have like some, I guess, some successes, some failures. How do you learn from these failures and successes, and like how does it help you like build like a better protocol?
Well, we've learned a lot. Like we were analyzing protocols in shared security a lot. So like the Cosmos one, the like mesh security, Polkadot before that, Eigenlayer, Babylon, like other protocols that were doing like similar stuff, were like a bit like some parts of it. Yeah, and we like the general rule for us was to like to make value proposition as strong as possible, and to make the drawbacks as non as, like drawbacks as small as possible. The demand side here was that like, how do we make the system that you can like actually like use it if you're a serious protocol, right? Because for you it's not going to be like you already have resources, right? Like you have like good teams of developers, you have a lot of like resources available to you, both financial and like in terms of expertise. Like how do we make it so that like it's gonna be pure joy and like as little work as possible? So that's why we designed it in a permissionless way, so you don't have to like explain to your like governing body or like founding team that like they're losing control over the most important part of the system, like actual consensus. So while eliminating drawbacks, we were like trying to do like as much to motivate people to actually use shared security as possible. And I think like it shows, because we currently have like 50 protocols that are like in the process of building on us around that. The whole idea was to like we analyzed the experiences before, and they were actually not really great when they were actually delivered. So the slow development speed, the actual like the amount of customization you need to do for you to actually select that. And this is important for protocols, because like if you do a lot of customization to utilize something, there might be another cost when you like decide this is not for you. So like uh, and people are actually thinking about these terms a lot. So yeah, like if I need to like to change my system altogether to utilize like to enable me to use your slashing, because I need to use like some token for that is outside of our system, or like if I need to adapt it so like your resolvers or your provers or verifiers can like actually stomach that sort of slashing, they accept that. Then like if I'm not happy with you, or you change the rules of the game, like how would I go about that? I'll need to like spend another like 3 months, even if like my original cost to develop those sort of systems is like cost and time, it's like 6 months, right? And you shorten it to 3. Still need to consider the another 3 that I need to like to work on production system and to change it from you. So those sort of like problems were really interesting and really hard to solve. How do we make it so like people like trust us immediately?
Yeah, that's definitely very interesting. So we're talking a bit about the design of Symbiotic. The Symbiotic is often described as like a modular shared security protocol. Can you touch a bit on this? Like, what exactly does it mean to have like modular shared security system? What does it mean in terms of like the impact of economic security for the networks? Like, what is the value that this flexibility provides?
Yeah, first, you don't have to like change the totality of your system to be able to enjoy benefits of Symbiotic. That was the whole point. You're not becoming like subordinate or something like, oh yeah, like I'm not a network anymore. I'm AVS. No, you're still a network. Like everything, like you just more secure and you can start earlier. That's the whole point. Like it's not like you're not mutating into some new monster. And like there are no drawbacks. There are benefits. So like shared security networks in general like should be considered safer than just like them using some like some security of their own and like and go in at it like trying to pioneer stuff that was pioneered like more than a decade ago. So yeah, the modularity comes here because again we are immutable, so the core cannot be changed. And how do you stay like flexible if your system is immutable? You basically create a set of modules that can be immutable and can be like upgradable. Those things basically give you like flexibility, and the core is tasks with accounting and things that should not be changed. The accounting and like enforcement of obligations, and everything outside can be customizable. So like if you have like a subjective slashing that cannot be verified, you can use a module that is going to be handling that. If you have like I don't know, like some interactive fraud proof systems, you should like you should never adapt your system to like accommodate someone else's primitives. It's hard enough to create those systems as is. Like you need to like you need to make it easier, not harder. If you want to accept like any tokens and you have like a different vault structure that it's like I don't know, permissioned, right? Like you only accept like from one source. You can do that. If you want to connect, we have those resolvers that basically represent an arbitration layer for each like slashing event that can say no, like this algorithm is broken, like we'll fix that. This is not a valid slashing. It can be like it's a module, so it can be like flexible as well. It can be like a I don't know, like committee, starting from committee, then algorithmic, then like prediction market based, so like subjective to, and it can also be layered. So like I say, and I'm a vault that provides insurance. I'll connect it to resolver to a network, and when slashing comes, and it doesn't matter like what source of slashing is, like I'm gonna be the one taking the fall immediately. So like everyone else is gonna be slashed after me. So this sort of like customizability basically brings us like well, use cases that otherwise would not be covered. That's why we have like out of or like maybe 45, 50 protocols that are currently like building on top of us. We have like maybe 2, 3 of each sort of primitive. So we have like data availability, like couple of data availability, couple of like pre-confirmations, couple of like insurance protocols, couple of AI, not couple, in AI case, it's actually like 5. And so far, like we see that we can accommodate every primitive out of it, and they don't like there is a difference between like Boolean into joining Symbiotic or like accommodating enough so they understand that they don't have to like change the fundamentals.
Yeah, very interesting part. And also another part that I feel is very interesting with Symbiotic is that part about collateral abstraction. Symbiotic was designed uh, from the beginning as a protocol that would accept any type of shared security, any type of collateral. Can you talk a bit about like exactly like the reach of collateral abstraction and like how much it can have under its scope, and the type of use cases it can create for different stakeholders like the networks and the vaults.
Yeah. Well, it plays to the same narrative of being like flexible enough, because it's really important, especially when the industry actually starts in full. Each limitation that you have, each use case that you haven't thought about and like that is not covered by the architecture, what when you design it, it's gonna be a really hard like job to do it again and like to do it properly. So we try to be as flexible as possible, and we try to like figure out the use case, right? Like we have like say Efina right now, right? Like Efina is building on us. And they already have like billions worth of their own tokens available, both in like derivative, their stable coin, and both in the governance token. Right? They don't need Ethereum or Bitcoin like to secure their network that much. They already have some economic security available to them, and for them it's more of like a alignment problem. So they will have like a lot of supporting systems, be that like interop or like app chain or some other primitives such as oracles. And they want for the value creation of every network of this sort, like every auxiliary system or like core system, to be delivering value for like their token holders and their aligned participants. So for them, it's not like they don't. I don't think that especially for like the governance token, they don't expect our networks that are outside their ecosystem to actually use their governance token yet. But like for the systems that are aligned with them, they should be aligned in this particular way as well. And without restaking, you can't actually do that, because like you'll have a system that is either like can't use the same token with the same system, right? Because like they're already used or staked somewhere else, or it will just like box you into using the like to stake in for each system there is. And because the risk parameters are completely different, like I'm okay staking for like, I don't know, sequencer, but I'm not okay staking for MEV relay or something like that, because like that brings way more risks. So you need to be opt-in. That's why that's where restaking comes in. And generally like you want to create as flexible alignment as possible. So like some systems might be like a systems of like free gravitational pulls, right? Like one of those is optimism, the other one is Chainlink, the third one is Ethereum, right? Like, and everyone wants to like to understand that the value created is going to be transferred to their like actual users. And that's why we like created a protocol with this in mind. We created an account abstraction that can basically use any like almost any token on almost any chain, because like Ethereum is like core it's a core like source of truth, so but it's not like limiting us in any way. You can still be using like I don't know, like you can secure the Symbiotic, you can secure rollups on like Celestia without Ethereum if token ever being involved beyond the gas fees. And yeah, like that was the whole point, to just make people like be as flexible as possible while being secure. So like for some protocols you can even use like for LP tokens or Uniswap LP tokens to secure a network if you want. So you're securing the network while creating the liquidity of some sort for your token.
And if the network is okay with that, of course.
Yeah, of course. No, like the relationship between operator, staker, and network should be always like consensual. Like you can't actually bully people into giving you money.
Absolutely. So let's dive absolutely. Actually, let's dive in a bit into like all of this, because there's a lot of different entities in Symbiotic. And I think a great way, to explain the architecture and the relationship between these different entities is to explain, like, I guess, like the life cycle, like the user journey, from, let's say, like I have WST. If I have capital I want to stake on Symbiotic, if you could walk me through, like, me depositing it into a vault all the way through, like, the entire life cycle until either I get my money back or I get part of it slashed.
Yeah, okay. Well, you as a staker, you deposit your funds into a vault. A vault can be created by you, or it can be created like by LRT or some like or validators or anyone else. You first like review. That would be an interest, like the important step. You review the information. Who does this vault delegate to? Like which networks? What operator set is it using? For that, like what is this distribution, how much of this vault is delegated to like network 1, network 2. I can see rewards. If networks provide rewards, they better do. So like you see the amount of rewards they're like providing, and then that might be tokens or like points or something else, entirely like just loyalty I don't know, badges. And then you see like if the networks that they're delegated to are slashable, like what are the slashing conditions. Another important part is that like what's the lockup period for this vault, because like it's proof of stake, and when it actually works, like there is a lockup usually, just to make sure that like every slashing event is handled properly. So you figure all of this information out. If you go through LRTs, you probably will do that on their website or the validators. If you like go through us, through our website, like you can see the information there. And after that, you decide to deposit your money. Are like as soon as like a network opens its delegation, and like it will be open to receiving new stake, your stake is going to be deployed there through a set of operators and like a resolver, if it's going to be used, that is going to be protecting your stake through like from the unlawful flashing. So then like when networks accept that, there is like a table where like your stake amount is associated with the operator key. And when the node actually operates decentralized networks, they see like, yeah, that this validator node has like a stake associated to that. And basically they start earning your rewards, if there are rewards. And if you want to withdraw, you have like to wait for a lockup period to end and then withdraw. Yeah, and like the same as like any deposit. There might not be a lockup period if network is non-slashable. There might be like a huge, like long period for networks that require like additional security in terms of like temporal plane. And yeah, when the like if there is slashing request before like you're withdrawn, you get slashed, even if like a resolver considers to be valid. If not, like if not, you can withdraw your money and like be happy about it.
Got it. And so, like, just on the lockup period, is it at the network level or at the vault level?
What?
The lockup period.
Oh
Is it
yeah,
at
the lockup period is like basically like everyone should be happy with the relationship that they have. Network has its own like lockup period, so different networks have different periods. Vault, when it like delegates to a network, accept this sort of period. I'm not getting my funds back before like the network is sure that like my operators haven't done something illegal. Well,
Got it.
improper, yeah.
Makes sense. So zooming back a little bit, if we talk about like the global landscape of restaking, how do you see, I guess, like the broader like blockchain ecosystem regarding like economic security? What do you think Symbiotic's role will be? What do you think the how big do you think the impact can be in the launch of decentralized networks?
Yeah, like the idea is to well follow the footsteps of Uniswap and basically become the default solution. There might be some like gated gardens that will be better for some application, but the idea is to create like a platform where you can actually like build supporting systems and like protocols on top of that, and be sure that like you're not gonna be you're gonna be safe because the platform is actually neutral. We don't play favorites like same as like Uniswap did back in the day. So like every network can come and basically get the same service that like everyone else. And for that, like at the current point, like we are at just the beginning of the journey. So like we are expected to launch soon, the launch mainnet soon, and then the important job of us actually like creating a system that is orders of magnitude faster and safer than the native launches and launches when you were like try to pioneer some old technology. So yeah, the important part for the rest of the year will be, and the year after that will be to create a frameworks plural and SDKs and a lot of code to support, so like the pieces of it are reused and not developed from scratch, because like this is the beauty of shared security. When you go with it alone, yeah, you have like your own code base that is like might be reused somewhere if you're not licensing that, but like it's isolated. For shared security protocols, when they are done correctly, you like every network that launches after you will have can follow your footsteps and like launch even faster than you have. So the goal is to get to like, yeah, at least a few orders of magnitude usability boost and like
Very
user
interesting.
journey boost. Yeah.
Yeah. Going back to, I guess, like the maybe something that like our listeners are very interested about. Most of our listeners are risk-takers themselves. Right now on Symbiotic, you can deposit collateral and earn points. This podcast should be airing just about I guess maybe a few days before the Symbiotic mainnet it goes out, is launched. Can you explain like how the incentives for risk takers will change after the mainnet launch?
Yeah, well, not right now. But yeah, I can explain the general idea. Current vaults are used for pre-deposits. They can't actually delegate to any network. The job for like the transition to like full production, and for our industry to actually become something usable, is to like incentivize stake and use, and stake that can actually be delegated and performed. So yeah, the point program will be updated. We'll have a blog post like detailing that, and yeah, generally the rule of thumb is that like if your stake is idle, you're gonna be like rewarded less than, not rewarded yet less, but like appointed points less than the stake is in use, because like for healthy protocol you need to like incentivize people to actually like move their money to being useful.
Yeah, so you won't just be able to like content yourself to just like leaving your money in Symbiotic. You actually have to do something with it, make decisions, delegate to the right roles, so on and so on.
Yeah, for a while the systems will be like coexisting, but yeah, the goal that people like should I think understand, like, and I'll help them. Like the stake should be used. That's the whole point. And I think like the points are gonna be important for a while, but then like the actual points and for points for us, our points, I mean, but like the points that are received from networks will be more and more important. And basically, like this is gonna be a huge task for the vault managers and LRTs, operators, and everyone else to figure out the strategy that works best for them in terms of like risk and reward. So like do I want to delegate my like restake tokens to like 12 networks or not? Because my like risk of slashing amplifies as well. Or do I want to be like conservative and only delegate to a few like select networks that are gonna be like super secure?
Got it. And so, do you already know like how many networks that plan to launch on Symbiotic on day one? And do you have kind of like I guess like a roadmap of network integration? Like what does it look like in day one, and what does it look like, let's say, like 2 months after? Does it double, triple in number of network?
Yeah. Well, don't want to name the actual numbers, but yeah, I think like we'll have a few for a launch. The Yeah, the process is not gonna be quick. Like as I told you, like it's infrastructure, it takes time. But yeah, the important job is to get the flywheel spinning in terms of like actually accelerating the launches. With each new protocol that launches, we already saw that like for the protocols going to testnet, right? Like it's really easy to talk, but like it's it's way more helpful for people to actually see how it can be done. Like see and I see that example, like yeah, we have like on the testnet an Oracle network deployed, right? And like I'm an Oracle network, I can see that what they're doing and try to figure out if this applies to me or not. And it's not like some case study or like demonstrator in the code. It's an actual like living network. So this is gonna be the really important part of it. But I expect volume dramatically in like Q2 because we have like a lot of networks that are aiming for this launch. But I think the start will be great as well, just to like to have something finally that's production.
Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to having that and seeing the developments. My next question to you is, what is like what is the mission of Symbiotic of the Symbiotic team after the mainnet is launched? After the mainnet is launched, like networks can just use the immutable modules that are available to them. What will be like your focus as a team after the mainnet is launched? What are the next things that you're looking to improve for the networks?
Yeah, the important part, like this is where the fun starts. Uh, we will need to optimize again, create a menu, help create a menu, because like before that, the part was like to make the system work, right? And try to get initial feedback, try to get people that are gonna be building on top of that. Now, now we optimize, and it's gonna be like it's gonna be a huge period of things not moving super quickly, but again with each launch, with each new primitive, with each new use case, there will be kicking in optimization that was not available before, because it's kind of be going to be done under like one platform. And this optimization, yeah, like because like before that we had like a broad stroke ideas, right? Like you have consensus, you have like subjective slashing conditions and everything like that. It was, yeah, mostly you need to write it yourself. You can use the infrastructure, but you need to write it yourself. And the more we launch, the more we can actually like optimize and create a small systems that are supporting that. And yeah, I think that this year will already like I'm pretty sure that it will show the optimization of shared security. And with each new optimization, like the value proposition of you launching on your own is going to be decreasing like each time. So this is the hard and exciting part of it. And the another point that I want to like hammer home, and that I find really important is that like stakers are gonna evolve as well, because like restaking and shared security, what it does, and it's what's beautiful about it, is it gives people well, if it gives people rewards for participating in early like scoring of the network. And basically, like, well, how I see it from the stakers point of view is that you get an into a lot of protocols that was not available before. And it's not going to be like straight up like I don't know, points farming or like some mechanisms to like farm accounts or something. It's the actual value can be scored and can be like enumerated in some like digits, KPIs that networks can actually appreciate. So like you're getting like an alpha while being helpful. I'm super excited to see how it goes, because currently you don't actually have to think a lot about this stuff, because like there is no slashing, so you don't have to be smart about it, and there are like basically no networks launching on this. But once we get to like an actual production, that will become more and more important.
Actually, it's super interesting what you just said. Like, I'm going to try to paraphrase to make sure I understood properly, but basically, like the stakers will have access to secure and get the benefits from like smaller networks that they would not have been able to touch previously, and probably like these networks would have bootstrapped it as proof of authority networks, and now like these networks like economic incentives can be unlocked for like the broader mass of restakers.
Yeah, this is one of among like many mechanisms, because like it's super like you can understand how people are creating value for a protocol, right? Because like for even for a big launches on the bigger side that we saw this like past few months, people are asking questions like, who are those like 12 operators that are like you selected to run your network? And now you can basically like open this up immediately for people to help you and to like secure you and receive benefits and like in return, of course.
Super interesting. Now, if we zoom out a bit and we look at like the shared security and restaking landscape as a whole, we already talked previously about like the history, the different actors, and so on. Now we're seeing a lot more different shared security platforms, restaking platforms being launched on Ethereum or elsewhere. What do you think is the end game for this ecosystem? Do you think this is a winner takes all market for the entire ecosystem? Do you think we have like local winners? Do you think we have maybe like spaces where there could be like different types of players for different types of use cases? What do you feel the market will look like in like 2 cycles?
Yeah, well, it's really hard to predict for industry that like we are about to launch in full actually. Um, but yeah, I think there is gonna be like an edge cases that are gonna be better handled by like some particular design of shared security protocol. But like generally, yeah, I think there's gonna be like in a few cycles there's gonna be um some form of like some form of winner takes all, the same as we see with dexes. But like Uniswap is leader in their own like primitives. So we have futures exchanges on chain, options trading and everything like that, other derivative tradings that are like super big as well. So I think for the general purpose protocol, there's gonna be a space for like a couple. And for everyone else, will just like try to invent their own flavors of it, and create like to not compete directly, but maybe complement. Yeah, that's how I see it. Because like in general purpose, again, super hard to figure out this beforehand, before actually launching. But yeah, like I think the general purpose stuff, like we did pretty well. We are yet to find like any significant flaw in our design. For like some, there might be like a gated enclosed system that is like benefits from that, and have like safeguards. Say for like, I don't know, eigenlayer, they have like multisig to help upgrade protocol, so it's like kind of easier. And for people that are not that security minded, that might be like fine as well. So we'll see. I just like feel that we are in a good spot to become this like 98 like 89 percent market share protocol. But like we'll see, like because there might be some optimization that requires like fast migration of funds. Yeah, it's really hard to predict. Like this is like, but actually depots go into to the form that it was designed to go into.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. I think like nobody can predict like where the market will go in the future. But it's definitely like interesting to see like all of the different participants and what they're providing compared to the rest of the landscape. We've talked a lot about restaking shared security today. Before we end this, I want to give you the opportunity to talk about whatever you want. Like, I'm curious, like, is there anything that you, like the founder of shared security platform, like if you have like passions in crypto that are not linked to what you do, like when you're not working on Symbiotic, are you like digging like the AI agent meta? Like, what are you passionate about in Web3 besides restaking?
Yeah, figuring out like AI meta is hard. Yeah, the amount of information available in marketing, information available is like it's enormous. So like it's really hard to screen the noise from the actual like message. In terms of technicality, it's like really early for most of the protocols, but yeah, it's really exciting. I finally heard like around like 3-5 applications that are super exciting, because before that it was trading mostly, and while exciting, it's nothing like super new. So yeah, no, this is the beauty of like me being at the position where I am, uh, because most initiatives that want to scale to actual like to like mainstream in our industry, they're thinking about decentralization. So that means that it's my job to talk to them. This is the really fun part about it, because like you're like, if there is something like that is interesting to the wider community, like it's interesting for you as well. So in terms of like AI agents, I mentioned that we have like 5 protocols on that. I expect this to grow like one order of magnitude before the end of the year, because like it's so important and so interesting. Uh, Generally, yeah, like this is the dream come true in terms of like actual interest. So yeah, maybe it's not great that my interests are like, well, they are are completely within my protocol's purview, but like we kind of designed it in this way. So yeah, basically like everything that happens, I'm super excited about like where the directions where like rollups are gonna go. Yeah, and because it's like really interesting and people are trying to find alignment within like the ecosystem and try to fix like their the fragmentation issue. yeah, and like new Oracle designs that are actually staked, that they're really interesting in dance. Like for a person that does a lot of like cross chain, I would like read on Intense because they're kind of gonna be killing this year. We work with Omni on that, and yeah, basically like we are at the epicenter of like every new initiative. Like for people that are like that are thinking that proof of stake and ZK are like kind of competitors. Like no, they aren't. There are like a lot of exciting ZK protocols and coprocessors that they are working currently on that as well. So yeah, every interesting part of the industry is basically our like target.
Yeah, you got a nice job. You get basically like alignment by design. That's great.
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect. So before we end this, do you want to tell our audience like how they can learn more about Symbiotic, follow you on Twitter, maybe try to study a bit the protocol?
Yeah, symbiotic.fi. Our documents are like extensive. We are really proud about that. Read on that. There's soon gonna be like Edgar spoiled it a bit. But like yeah, we expect ramping up for mainnet. So like soon the shit becomes real. So we're super excited about that.
Great, great. Looking forward to the mainnet and also like to the audience. Stay tuned because we're gonna have uh, podcast interviews with every network founder to ask them about like how they feel about shared security, what are their plans for mainnet, and I basically like let them have like a platform to talk about like what they're going to be building with Symbiotic. So very interesting days ahead. Thanks again, Misha. It was a great conversation. And yeah, looking forward to seeing you launch mainnet.
Yeah, super excited as well. Thank you for having me.